They can be in this at any moment. They just gotta up their mental game, let their talent speak.
Amazing placement. What a shot.
That was a Yahtzee overhead.
Aspect of mental toughness here that's just so different.
I like the body language of all four players.
Oh, look at that shot! Great hands from Kiro.
Hello and welcome to the 2023-24 APTA Tour presented by Volley. We are live from the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois, bringing the Chicago Charities, a Grand Prix event, which is the fourth stop on the 23-24 APTA Tour, with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors Volley and Fusion, and local sponsors Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, Wintrust, and Viking. I'm Mike Raleigh, along with Guy Moore and Brad Easterbrook, bringing you the Chicago Charities Grand Prix semifinals. Fellas, welcome. Guy, why don't you introduce our players?
Yeah, we got a good match, great semi here lineup. In fact, both our semis are fantastic. So it's going to be a fun morning here at the Glenview Club. I'm going to start from and go left to right. On the top left of the screen, we have Guillermo Nunez. He's a head paddle pro at the Pelham Country Club in Pelham, New York. His partner in the black sweatshirt walking out the door, Jose Salazar Martin. He's a director of rackets at the Stanwich Club in Greenwich, Connecticut. On the back left here on my side of the court, we have, I'm just letting them announce here. Standing on the court in the red there is Graham McNerney. He's a local boy from Chicago here. And his partner is Juan Arraya in the blue shirt, who is currently the director of rackets at the Greenwich Field Club in Connecticut.
New York is Juan Arraya. To my left in the white shirt.
Brad, what do you think match-wise? Going to be a pretty quick match with this new team of Salazar and Nunez. We were just talking about it a little bit earlier, but these guys haven't been around too long, but they're lighting it up.
They are certainly lighting it up. I mean, Jose Salazar Martin has been like in the finals or won the last three tournaments he's entered with a different partner. Now he's got Guillermo Nunez, and from what I've seen of Salazar Martin and his partner is they are playing like veterans. You know, they just make the right shots at the right time. They know the pace of play. They're not scared by any moments or pressure. They just go about their business like actually seasoned veterans. So we're looking forward to a great matchup here. And I know Arraya and Salazar Martin have played against each other and practiced some together, so I think they all know their game well. Salazar Martin hit the forehand and the backhand really well. Nunez, super quick, looking to hit the forehand early and try to get his way to the net. So that's not easy to do against McNerney and Arraya. And so we'll see. That'll be an interesting play and something to look out for as the match goes on, because Nunez wants to blitz, and Arraya and McNerney are actually two of the best at shutting down the blitz and getting right on top of the net.
Yeah, and you'll see, too, with that blitz, it'll force a lot of forehand volleys, and both of them have great forehand volleys.
Got a beautiful day here at the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois. Temperature's about 45 and clearly sunny.
Yeah, you think that sun will be a factor at all, Mike?
Yeah, I think with the change in time, I wouldn't suspect we have many issues.
talking about Salazar and Nunez too. I was talking to a couple friends of mine, and these guys, and Brad and I were talking about it yesterday too, these guys who haven't been playing that long are learning the game the right way sooner, but they're also playing the new game, which involves a lot of transition, just like this right there.
Boy.
So
Pretty quick.
Yeah, that was a great move. Arraya hung that one up a little high.
He did.
If Nunez is able to get to that cut finisher above the level of the net, shot just wasn't executed the way he wanted to. And there's a move where he takes the drive, but he's out of position, and of course McNerney right there to stuff it.
And that's one of the things he does best. He doesn't move much at all, and his hands are always right in front.
Yeah, it's almost it's perfect textbook volleys from McNerney.
It's interesting, too, because he's not a small guy. I mean, he's a tall guy. And generally the great volleyers are not 6'4" or 5.
So you're saying he volleys like a little man.
Just like that. Just like that.
Volleys like Patty Hogan.
You know what? That's not a bad way to volley.
That's not a bad way to
I
volley.
think Graham and Patty are both like that combo.
That's a compliment in every way.
Yeah.
Now you see Salazar Martinez, he's waiting. He's just going to push the ball deep. Everything he's going to do is actually pretty textbook that I've seen so far. So and they just play a nice, even pace. I don't think he's looking to speed it up. He's just looking for the right opportunity.
I'm hearing from the court over, Boston Rams are up 1-1 in the first set. Yeah, Brad and Mike. Salazar just has a great neutralizing overhead. Same there with Nunez. It's just deep and push, and it stays low. And if Graham or Juan were going to drive the ball, the team at the net has all day to see it anyways.
I love this. They're working on the shot clock a little of Arraya and McNerney. There's a switch in the backcourt, by the way, from Arraya and McNerney. You'll see that from time to time. Change the look.
I like that, too. I like that look.
15, 30.
I like that look for Juan. Juan and Graham have a lot of experience together, too. I mean, Juan's played with a bunch of different partners over the last couple of years. After Mark Parsons and him didn't play as much, but Graham and Juan have a good feel for each other. And more importantly,
All right, a little controversy on the call there. Nunez questions it, but umpire overrules it. So great job.
Umpire Pat Layden.
I tell you what, it's so nice in these big matches to have that chair. Just to bite it and move on.
One of the things to look out for here in this match, Mike, might be Arraya loves to attack the backhand corner, like pound in there, cut overhead, spin, bang, backside, side back. Nunez is a lefty. He's got that ability to sort of cut the ball off in there. I think that matchup of that corner right there that we're going to see is going to play into this. Whoever does it better, really. Can Nunez handle it like that?
Yeah. Right.
Or does he get spun around, put in the washing machine?
Arraya.
Well, as players, I mean, the majority of us, you almost are taught we're going to work that ad side, but now you're staring at that Nunez forehand. It's tough to play kind of a different style.
There's
That's
a
a great
transition.
play. And
Great.
we're gonna see Nunez do that all the time. We will not see that from Jose Salazar Martin. Nunez will be looking to blitz in. Salazar Martin will be great pushing back behind him to cover him. And that way they have it all covered. If Nunez can attack, great. If he can't, Salazar Martin has it behind him, and they're still on the point.
I had asked them what their game plan was today, and Salazar Martin said, I'm going to look to lob well and set my partner up, and Nunez is going to take the net, and I'll take the backcourt.
That's great.
And I'll tell you what, too, just like that previous play when Nunez blitz there. That's just a good time for Juan to get out of the middle of the court and go to the baseline and bail. Time and space didn't favor him at all there. See if it happens again.
Oh, what a dig there from Nunez. A matrix move.
Wow.
That's a great get.
There's some athleticism on this court. I mean, I was just going to say how smooth Graham is, but he looks like a, you know, compared to Nunez, he's not nearly as smooth, but boy, they all four move so well. Never seem to be out of position or off balance, even when they're making those great gets.
Third panel smash there, moving him out of position. Oh, Arraya goes for the cut winner.
And I think today with the speed on the other side of the net, he's going to have to pick those shots wisely.
Yep. Yeah, so far he's hit 3 cutters, and he hasn't missed all 3, but he hasn't gained anything from them.
Yeah, he got pegged on one, missed one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're reading it well, and Nunez is so fast. It's like that.
Uber quick, and that's where the transition volley comes into play. Arraya loves that transition. It's his nature to drive that ball back and move forward again. But if Nunez is able to get on top of the net like that in transition, which is a little bit rare to somebody be that quick, he's going to have to think better and start lobbing that ball.
Well, and also you saw Graham there got caught a little bit because Graham loves to kind of have one toe still at the net and pick and choose his little blitz opportunities too.
Yeah, you make a great point because Graham will actually be in expecting Arraya to hit that drive. So if Nunez is there, he's got a clear path to hit the winning volley. And that might have to change for Arraya and McNerney. And that's just an awesome start. This is what Salazar, Martin, and Nunez have done to everybody this whole tournament. Just play. Did they make an error? I mean, he missed one screen, but they didn't make a bad error.
There was a lob long, too. One lob long.
Yeah. So, but they're playing kind of perfect, quintessential paddle.
And Juan and Graham right now need to make that adjustment because Juan does have a great screen drive, but he can't drive to where he can't see because Nunez is going to be all over it. They got to make that adjustment now. It should have been talked about in between this game right now. If it hasn't, it's going to happen several more times.
Yeah, it's likely. Let's see.
And you know this combination, I think what I like so much about it, Brad and Mike, is that these guys have the ability to play slow when they need to, and they have the ability to play very fast.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like right here's a great example of them playing the right way, slow, and then you speed it up a little.
It creates some movement, but they know the dump spots, like push it slow and deep to McNerney's forehand or Arraya's backhand.
Yeah.
Get back into position at the net, and odds are in your favor. They're not going to go for more. And then when you have an opportunity to start making a move, go for it.
And you know what? I like that roller that he's hitting because it keeps Graham pushed back. Great lob by Graham. Not going for the wide ball we saw some teams doing yesterday on that ad side.
Wow, Nunez again, so quick. The dink and blitz that time.
Yeah.
Just perfect textbook play so far from Nunez and Salazar Martin.
It's really fascinating to see that, I mean, both these guys haven't been playing for, you know, a number of years. They're both relatively new to the game, yet they're playing with the discipline of not only great skill, but also their discipline.
Discipline mentally, yeah.
As if they've been playing for, you know.
Yeah, that's what I noticed yesterday in the match. In the quarterfinal, tough battle they played. Incredible match with Humphries and Koenig taking out the second seeds in 3 sets. Salazar Martin, he's just chewing gum and walking back to the baseline.
Yeah, he's chill, man.
He's completely nonplussed by anything that's going on.
Neither one of them are.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's a little more live wire Nunez, moving around a lot.
Yeah,
Salazar's kind of like hanging out. He can get moving when he wants to, but he's more, everything's just waiting. But he wants Nunez to be the guy running and Salazar be the, there's the play. That's not a helpful drive there necessarily.
Well, let's watch as this match progresses. You know, Juan's used to working that side screen like you said earlier, but Nunez is defending so well, and that's sometimes where Juan gets a little impatient. Tries to do more than he needs to.
I also think, we talk about, like, they haven't played for that long. they're obviously extremely well versed in how to play, right? You know, they're playing a perfect textbook type of game. And not playing that long, in a sense, can be a benefit for them, because we know the hardest thing, or one of the hardest things about playing paddle and playing it over a long time, is mentally being in the moment time after time after time. Another lob. I know after playing 20 years, somebody starts hitting the lob 15, 20, 30 times at a point, and I'm mentally getting worn down. These guys are fresh. They'll take 100 balls if they need to. They don't. Their shot clock's not going to be there, right? Because they're right in there. They're hungry and they're fresh.
Well, the other thing, too, is, and we were all talking about it this morning, Mike and Brad, is there's not a lot of tape on these two.
Yeah.
You know, right,
There's
Mike?
no book. There's no book on them yet.
There's no real book, and, you know, when you're a new team and in the semis of the Charities and no one really knows you, I mean, that's exactly what gives you the energy we're seeing here.
Ah, that's a great point.
And that's, you know, they've come through the draw.
They beat some good teams.
They beat, you know, Lambropoulos and Czerzinski. You know, then they beat,
Three-seeded teams they beat, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's, Dan and Sven in the next round.
Yep. That's a great lob from Arraya. Goes right to the perfect shot, the soft deep one, right to the Arraya backhand there.
Smart to let go. And I think this match is going to boil down to not the talent, because there's a ton of talent on both sides. It's going to come down to good adjustments and potentially experience.
30 all.
Well, and I think that's what Juan and, you know, Arraya and Graham are going to be trying to really do is, and I'm not quite sure how they're going to get there, but if they turn it into a game of experience, you know, and I don't know how they're going to get there, but boy, that's got to be one of their strong sides, is being able to, you know.
When things are tight, what they better do is, like we tell everyone else, you better communicate. And even if the plan or scheme you have is incorrect, if you have one, you know how to adjust. I think Nunez and Salazar just don't need to get cute. They need to be playing like they played the whole tournament.
Great pickup.
I like that ball by Graham. That's the other thing about Graham, him being the biggest guy on the court, but he moves very efficiently.
Cat-like.
Oh,
Good
nice
drive.
play from Arraya there. Held it, slid it up the line.
Yeah, I like what Graham and Juan are doing here, playing within themselves.
All right. Break point to get even.
One more lob, I like it, Graham. Great head by McNerney. They're always there, right, Brad?
They're doing a great job calling the helps, and then just doesn't execute the lob.
Score is deuce.
That's a heck of a serve from Nunez.
So good.
Advantage.
You're going to need a translator to be able to hear what their game plan is.
You got that, don't you?
You can use
Great
your
ball.
volley AI to,
Does it translate too?
I don't know,
Score is deuce.
to check it out. Guy, you made a good point earlier. Both these teams have the ability to play slow or fast. So along the way, there's a good capacity to be able to change and adjust their strategies. So we're going to have to see. It's like kind of like a boxer round to round here as it goes along if they're going to adjust some things. Right now, they both almost have the exact type of strategy. They're playing slow at the right moment,
sure.
speeding up at the right moment. They're actually playing the exact same style of game. And they're just battling against each other. And that was a great game. I can't fault anything anybody has done yet. Break point here. Great point there.
Yeah, both sides are staying patient, and it's not the tough balls that the mistakes have come from. It's the easy ones. So,
Yeah, just execute right.
yeah.
And in this first game, I would say that Graham has been hurting. I think they might start taking that ball up the middle a little more to Arraya's backhand.
It's a good idea.
It seems like Graham's starting to really get that lob down the line dialed in.
Well, he's so rangy too that that's a nice move. That he's blocking balls and not letting them go to the screen, so he's speeding it up a little bit.
Yep.
And he's, like we saw yesterday a lot, guys, he's hitting that lob into that really gray area at a good height that allows him to do what he just did there.
You know, one thing that I have noticed, if we talk about experience here, twice now there have been 2 McNerney blitzes. In neither case did Salazar Martin call out like a blitz. You know, usually a high lob goes back, and when the blitz opportunity presents itself, and that player should have his eyes forward and be watching the backcourt team. And if a blitz comes, he's got to tell his partner so he can change the overhead a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting where Juan's hitting that.
Oh. Try to get him moving with the third panel smash.
You know, and I forgot to mention that Nunez and Salazar Martin had a nail biter with Mike Arraya and Matt Wurzel, and I think the first round it was from all accounts it was a tight 0-1.
It was a tight one. Every game went to deuce.
Yeah, and you know they were really nice. I heard.
Couple local guys, Arraya, Wurzel.
Yeah, they could have won that match.
Yeah, they were right there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. How many times we heard that? 15-30. And McNerney loves that little waterfall. He can hit it from so up high too because he's tall. As you can see, McNerney and
Tricky little inside out, almost across the ball.
He held that.
I was just about to say that they're using the middle well, and that height of that ball is just so difficult to handcuff Juan Arraya.
It caught him by surprise. It wasn't hard hit, and I think he
had some movement on it.
He was moving inside out.
Yeah.
He actually kind of swiped across it this way. Arraya was expecting a hard drive through the middle.
At his body, and
yeah. All right. 40. Great volley.
Great
good
volley.
rip.
great
The
ball.
spin. That was all the spin.
Reached for it.
See, I like that shot a lot, Brad and Mike, because it didn't go to the screen.
Yeah.
Because when he's using the screens to create time for himself, and that's a big advantage.
And it kills some of that spin. I mean, you saw that ball jump off the paddle and move to the hitter's left.
Yeah, Mike, talk about it when someone's putting that much spin on the ball, what you have to do at contact.
Well, I think you have to be, you number one, you got to hit it cleanly. It's got to be hit on the, in the sweet spot. But the ball does move. If I'm receiving the shot, it always from a righty cut spin will move to my left.
Right.
So, you're almost reading the spin and then changing your aim point.
Right.
Where I'm aiming cross court to have the spin, offset so it'll go down the line, for example.
Yeah, it's not just like playing a flat ball.
No,
You got to pay attention, and over the course of a match, that becomes pretty taxing.
And they're reading, speed, spin, weather's another one, Back to deuce here. They fought off 2 break points.
That's a great ball.
Great ball. And Salazar Martin was going to lob that ball up, and it didn't get up at all. They had no time. McNerney, good shot into the corner.
Yeah, when that ball's short, you just got to protect your corner for those angles and block that, even though it was still a great shot.
Well, that's a great hold, but actually just a couple of errors there from Nunez. Salazar Martin, but great action so far.
Yeah, we got a postcard day here at the Glenview Club. Sun shining, 50 degrees, crowd starting to roll in.
Little update from our other men's semis. We have Durant and Mitchell up 4-3 on Rams and Bostrom in the first set. I'm peeking over at that match when we have some breaks here, and same type of match. I mean, it's slow at times, like now, and fast at other times. So it's kind of the, with these four teams, I mean, you're talking about the semis of Chicago, second biggest tournament in the country. You're seeing almost all four teams playing a little bit similar.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's because the moment is the points are more precious now, right? You don't want to be thrown away going for a shot you can't have a high percentage of making, right? So you're really picking your moments here as you get into the semifinals. And also the teams have the ability to hurt you more when you make the mistakes. So
you know what's interesting too, guys, is, and it's becoming less and less because the draws are so deep, but Salazar serving here. But you used to be able to win the first couple rounds of these tournaments playing a different way than you played the semis.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
just play fast, actually.
Play fast.
Honestly, you just play fast. You rip returns,
get through it, and you
blitz, right.
You see a lot of quick scores, and not the case as much anymore.
No. I mean, it's less so, but
It's still there, but
yeah.
I love watching Graham play because every time he's lobbing the ball, it's, you can almost see he's picking a very specific target, with,
He really
with
is.
very specific intent.
Watch again on that play there. Salazar Martinez looking at Nunez hit the ball, and then McNerney's making that smooth move up the line, looking for the blitz again.
Little sneak attack.
It's going to keep happening, though, without the warning, because Nunez can't see McNerney coming when he's hitting the overhead.
Another thing about Salazar and Nunez is I'm watching them, and they're hitting overheads and then closing back into the middle of the service box each time. That's a lot of movement.
Oh, that's a great shot. Right, chased it down, but he actually overplayed his spot a little bit. Oh,
Wow.
Little reach on the volley.
Yep.
15-40.
you got to soft hand that one, dead drop it almost. Squeeze this paddle a little bit.
Too, you talk about Salazar and how he plays, I don't want to say lack of emotion, but just very cool, right?
Yeah, cool.
Well, McNerney's the same way. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard him yell in my life. I've watched about 100 matches he's played.
I think he stubbed his toe one time. I saw him. And
Did he?
Yeah, he
Did he
raised
give a
his
little
voice.
yelp?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit, just a
Yeah.
little bit.
Okay. But, that balances Juan out, too, although Juan, over the last couple of years, I think Juan Arraya has become, I don't know, I feel like he communicates better. I feel like a little less emotional. I like it.
Backcourt switch. Oh,
Great
good.
move.
Wow,
That's
good
a great move. I love that.
And he didn't adjust that time. He put the overhead, Arraya slides around it.
They lead the first set 3-1.
Good job. It's just a couple little spots here. That game had a fault, and he didn't see the move Arraya made there. Just a couple little errors. It was a good back and forth match. Right now, Arraya and McNerney just playing super solid.
Well, right now, it goes back to what we said 20 minutes ago. It could come down to experience, and everything I'm seeing now is based on that. You know, that switch you just called, Brad, that's experience.
Yep.
You know, 2 balls later, great drive by Arraya.
High lob there. Now, see, there was a call where
Yeah.
I heard McNerney yell hard, right?
Wow, that's a great
He's
ball.
telling Nunez is going, which is actually part of what that's a
Oh,
perfect
that's
ball
so
there.
good.
Oh, it actually came off the snowboard. Nunez caught it in his hand because he
Yeah.
didn't think he would have a shot at it. He would
It
have
was
had one.
behind him.
Yeah, because it was a
Rookie
winner.
mistake.
Yeah, exactly. All right, but these are great points right here. Very well done. Arraya and McNerney really doing a good job pulling them out of position.
And you're seeing Nunez ready to switch out with Salazar because that serve is moving him all the way over. They'll switch back pretty quickly. They have been anyways. Nice shot. And Graham does that so well where he hits that overhead and the ball just goes vertical off the back wire.
No. Yes. I'm here. Yeah.
Using signals, talking about where the serve's going, where Graham's going. Smart move for Arraya to stay back.
Oh, tricky little flick there. Great get from Arraya.
All that quick play, and now we're right back to neutral.
There's a switch again. That's a good read that time from Salazar, putting the overhead in the right spot.
I just feel like Arraya is the difference in his game here is he's not pressing at all anymore.
Not pressing at all right now.
Yeah.
Really playing within himself.
And I think that comes from trusting McNerney. I mean, I don't think I know.
Yes, there's the trust, and it's also just they understand the style they need to play as a
Right.
team, right? You know, when he's played with other partners in the past, guys who drive the ball off the deck more, here it's all they're lobbing, setting up the point, and waiting for that opportunity to attack and blitz. You know, it comes sooner in the point depending on how often they drive, but they're just lobbing terrifically. You talked about it before, Mike, how you watch McNerney set up and pick his spots. Araya's doing the same thing, and then they're going to find their one opportunity. And has there been any pressure that Nunez and Salazar Martin have been able to put on them from the net?
Well, and what's happening too is McNerney and Arraya have taken away what Nunez does best. He's not really able to blitz too much and create that speed that the couple matches I've watched him play has been so successful. I like this point for McNerney and Arraya.
Oh, it's a perfect point.
There we had Nunez calling out,
Calling out the blitz. Good.
Yeah.
Great get by McNerney.
There we go. That's the first kind of cutter. Well, what Salazar Martin and Nunez are doing great is they're not giving him a lot. So it's a super patient point, but they're also not putting any pressure on either, right? So it was a perfectly well-played point by both teams.
And let's look to see what kind of happened at the end of that point when Salazar and Nunez are at the net. Salazar didn't want to keep playing slow. He wanted to speed it up. That's a lot of overheads he was hitting.
And I think it'll be interesting to see if down the road here, if they make any sort of switching at the net where, not position-wise, but they get Nunez hitting maybe some more of the lefty overhead
Nunez
to
is
give them a
gonna
little look.
He's going to get trapped in there. He keeps going to the left there. Usually a lot of guys will let that wind around to their forehand side.
And you can see Nunez, his back's literally against the screen. Great lob. Oh,
Good playing from Arraya there. Just worked him over.
yeah. I mean, and when you see someone's back against the screen like that, you got to know they're not thinking offense.
Well, I think he got pressed, though, and then
That's
he just
right.
went for more on that lob to try to get it over
Right.
him. Right, I got to stop this, right?
Gabe, Arraya,
Wow.
McNerney. Score is 4-all, 4-1.
Badly.
I was going to say, I'm not
It's not
watching
4
that
all.
match.
All right, so it's 4-1 Arraya McNerney, and it's time to talk about one of our great sponsors, Volley. And Volley is the official sponsor of the APTA for the 2023-24 season. Backed by cutting-edge technology, including its unique vision software, Volley is the innovator of the first AI-enabled racket sports training experience that simulates point play. By enabling players and pros to record sessions on the court, Volley also delivers off-the-court player analysis and support, all from your phone. It takes only minutes to sign up. Ask your pro about a Volley lesson today. And for more information, go to visit getvolley.com.
I tell you what, Brad and Mike, I was over talking to Abby in the Volley tent over there before. That is a really, really cool piece of equipment, and I love their vision and all the things you can do with it. The drills and the set drills. They have drills created, the cameras. I mean, it's amazing, and it's good for. They're using it for padel, tennis, and paddle, and it's in the R&D stages for pickleball. So, great concept.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool machine. As teaching pros, I think it's a great tool. You know, you're not having to hit 1,000 screens. It does it for you. And it allows you to teach on the same side of the court, too, with your student.
Yeah, it's great. Really cool.
15 all here, 1 serving 4.
15-all.
Quick update on our other semi with Johan Durant, Stephen Mitchell playing against Martin Bostrom and Philippe Rams, 5-3, Durant and Mitchell. So these guys, they're down. Nunez, Salazar down 1-4. What do you think, Brad?
You know, I think they're doing a lot of things right. This has been their problem right now. I think they've actually had more success on the baseline so far than they have at the net. They got nowhere to put pressure on them right now, and the engagement is controlled by Arraya and McNerney at this point. You know, so but it's tricky though, because I don't know that they should start speeding it up and hitting it faster. I don't know if they're going to get better doing that.
Well, I think you say it well, because I understand why maybe they haven't made the adjustment yet, but that's such a good look by McNerney. But Nunez is eliminated with his blitzing and movement by being at the net. So, again, I think maybe a tactic that we saw yesterday, pulling them in a little bit short.
Yeah, drop it short,
because Arraya and McNerney are playing very smart from the baseline, and not only that, they're doing a great job with the variety of their lob, with pace, with height, with placement.
That's big.
Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, and, you know, Arraya and McNerney, in contrast, when they get to the net, Araya's ability to actually, you know, start working the spin overheads and moving Nunez around has definitely made a difference. So Arraya and McNerney right now are winning points when they get to the net. Nunez, Salazar, Martin, not so much.
And I'm going to just state the obvious, Mike and Brad. I mean, Arraya and McNerney are playing a very clean match.
Yeah, perfect. No errors, no mistakes.
They're playing a clean match.
Yep.
Well, I think a good, if you're looking at the barometer of the errors they have made have all been the right shots.
For sure.
You know, Graham missed one off the corner, out of the corner with a big drive. He hit it at the top of the tape. We haven't made any errors based on the wrong decision.
Right.
No.
Yeah, but even, Guy, you make a great point. Usually you expect maybe a couple more. Just lob the ball out. Make a mistake. They're not making any.
No.
They've missed a couple of execution shots where you're going for it. That's almost to be expected. It's sort of in the margins, But yeah, other than that, nothing.
And I love McNerney staying back there on that drive. He knew it was going to come off the back screen. No need to get caught in any transition. Like you said a minute ago, Brad, I mean, Salazar and Nunez aren't getting a lot of places being at the net with these guys so far.
Well, and I haven't seen a cut finisher or an attacking overhead they're doing it, but not a difference maker yet.
Great lob.
Ooh.
Love it.
See, look at him. He's controlling and push them right, push them left, drive, draw him back in.
Yeah. And those drives are
Wow.
with tons of intent, again, just to make the next lob better. Wow, that's
This
this
is
hit.
perfect,
Yes.
though, but perfectly executed play from the baseline. McNerney comes to net, does the blitz, and Nunez fell for that one. He was right on the net, 1 inch. He almost got baited into that drive and put it away.
McNerney was there as quick as Nunez on that net. Well, Brad, we called a match yesterday with Broderick and Christian, and the same thing's going on here. Is that
That's a
great shot
beauty
by
right there.
Nunez? Is the match is being controlled with the lob,
Yep.
which is old school.
And great decision making too. But but it's old school. But then they're mixing in the flare shots when they need them. The
Sure.
attack and spin overheads, and that's really the modern game. People talk about how much has changed, but the fundamentals remain the same.
Yeah, it hasn't changed that much.
Right. The fundamentals remain the same, but you need more pressure shots when you have the ability, and that's the spin overheads and a few of the other things. But the fundamentals are the same.
Yeah, the difference I see, especially, I mean, these two semis are a great example, is you have to have the ability to do both. You can't just do one anymore.
There you see McNerney, lob to the left, lob to the right, lob to the left. Keep one guy pushing off the net, constantly probing till he gets them off, and they make a mistake on their overhead, then you're going to hit some form of attacking drive to bring them in.
And notice, too, because of what you just said, Brad, that Nunez and Salazar are always in the middle of the service box, so they have to move back for like that for every single overhead. Just the same. In other words, they're not able to hit overheads off their front foot, and that's exactly what the baseline team wants. Like that.
There's
That's off
one.
Yeah.
But he can't get a combination, so he's got one, and now right back, he's taking the net. Beautifully done.
Yep.
That's a tough shot to make for Nunez. It's a mistake against McNerney, who's right on the net.
And McNerney and Arraya do a good job of communicating. Notice even that's a great, what I was just about to say, with McNerney not being in his way. He's there when he needs him and out of his way when Juan doesn't need him at all.
Yeah, he
Just
knows how to
kinda-
go to the right.
Yep,
Slides his body.
yep. And for a guy that takes up some space like McNerney, that's so important, because as big as Arraya swings, he doesn't want Graham McNerney in his way at all. That's another great example. And then he's back in the middle where Arraya needs him.
I think you make a great point, Guy. He fills the space and removes himself from the space that's needed in quick movements. And at the same vein, he's also right at the net when he needs to blitz in, and he's up in your face.
I really like that scheme. And the other thing about that movement, Brad and Mike, is from the overhead perspective, there's nothing worse than feeling like your partner's going to jump in front of you to destroy your tempo. And the balance of the team, because McNerney's moving out of the way, is letting Juan just hit same spots but different speeds, spins, overheads.
And their whole game plan is predicated clearly at the net with Juan, on that left-hand side, running the show.
And I would say, from what I see so far,
Arraya McNerney, they lead the
if we asked Arraya and McNerney what their game plan is from the baseline, I would be shocked if they didn't say what just exactly happened. We're setting up Graham's forehand just like that because it creates movement, and that ball's been big all set long. There it is again.
Oh, he got him that time. Put some sauce on it.
Little tattoo. But I like there how, with Graham on top of the net, the only time that they're going to be, if they're contesting with a drive, it can't be, it's almost like you've got to be hitting behind where Graham is because he's always looking to help towards the middle.
Yeah, I mean, Graham's in the right spot. It was just a tough height of that ball.
Great spot.
There's 2 big drives there.
We've got the first game of the second set over on the other semis. Mitchell and Durant won the first 6-4 over Rams and Bostrom.
All right, so love 40.
Love 40.
See if these guys can make them work, though, even though they're down love 40, make them work.
Yeah, it was a big moment, actually, early on in this set where McNerney came back from that game where he was down 15-40, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Since then, it's really been mostly all Arraya. And, imagine if they lose that, it's a different feel and momentum, all sorts of things. So let's see if they can do it again.
So there's a little switch here. Are they going to switch back? No, they're going to stay. I like, no, they're, yeah. They had to switch there. Wow, nice ball.
Great ball, but Nunez is overplaying some of the balls now. He's super quick, but you can't make those moves up the wire until the guy's back behind the service line or around the service line. He's trying to come in, but the angle that McNerney has to put it behind him is too good. He's just getting right behind him.
A couple different overheads at that point, too.
Ooh,
Great ball.
Great
All right, there's a
ball.
good break.
Yeah.
Nunez, Salazar. Arraya, McNerney lead the first set 5-2.
5-2 is.
But difference making drives there. Go ahead, guy.
We saw a couple times yesterday, teams were in control up 5-2. And I always say to myself, and Mike and Brad, I'm interested to hear what you have to say, but this first point when you're up 5-2 in that game, to me, is so important that you win it if you're the team up 5-2. Because now you're up 5-2 and winning the game. Other side wins it. They're down 2-5, but they're still winning the game. And that, to me, is important mentally. Because you want the other team to start entertaining the thought of losing. But as long as they're winning within the game, it's valuable.
It is, we all know the momentum is it's a fickle thing. No lead is safe.
Well, and it's tricky, too, because I say it respectfully, but you want to play to win and play not to lose. But so many teams, so many club teams we've watched, they get up 5-2 and they lose a match because they just stop doing the things that got them there, and they're
Right.
playing not to lose instead of playing to win. All right, so here's the first point. Salazar to serve, 2-5. New ball, Brad.
New ball. 7 games. They're going to switch balls every 7.
Wait. That look.
Be careful here.
Oh, that was going
nice
out. But what a
shot.
play. See, there's the problem for Nunez in that situation. When he's running up, though, Nunez should be back
Yeah, stay
behind in the
back.
middle. That's a little bit of an experience thing that we talked about
Yeah.
before. Nunez is so busy always running forward that he's thinking, I'm running in. He's got to stay back, cover for Salazar Martinez until he gets it behind Arraya. Didn't do that time. He paid the price.
Let's see here on this point if it goes long, if McNerney and Arraya switch. But there's the ball they're setting up. They're just looking for that ball.
Yeah, but they're starting to get off script a little bit now because they weren't able to do anything to him with the soft overheads.
Right.
But hitting
That's-
them hard into the screen, that's worse because that's the #1 offensive shot that McNerney has.
Remember that long point a few games ago when I said Salazar's getting tired of hitting a lot of balls. Start to see a little frustration at the end of the set
Triple. Set point.
of 40.
Great call, and there's another high forehand. Right
That
on
was
the line.
a great ball. Slow it down. See if Graham gets to sit on his forehand here.
Nah, called out.
Yeah.
Was out. Confirmed by the
Okay.
umpire.
We'll be back
Arraya McNerney.
in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by CPTC.
Ready for a whole new training experience? Welcome to Volley. At Volley, we've developed the first AI training system for racket sports, providing pros with the advanced teaching tools they've been waiting for, and giving players a new way to level up their game and enhance their time on the court. Ask your pro about a volley lesson today and learn what Volley can do for you. We'll see you on the court.
Wow.
What's the score next door, Cal?
All right, welcome back to the APTA Tour. We're live from the Glenview Club, bringing you the Chicago Charities Grand Prix. We're in the semifinals. We've got Salazar, Martin, and Nunez versus Juan Arraya and Graham McNerney, who just won the first set 6-2. Fellas, I think we're in for a. If you're coaching Nunez, Salazar, Martin, what's going on the whiteboard here?
Brad, you go first.
You know, for Salazar, Martin, and Nunez, it's been a tough struggle for them to find a way to win the points, right? They're not putting enough pressure on them, but I definitely wouldn't be speeding it up with those hard overheads. If McNerney hits another high forehand, the problem is when they slow it down, then McNerney and Arraya start picking them apart. So, you know, for those guys, they just have to find a way. Right, I like this. There's a different move to be able to attack from the net.
And I was going to say that I think these guys should experiment with staying
Staying back.
So,
Yeah.
staying
Either-
back because they're all the offense right now is coming from Juan Arraya and McNerney, and McNerney's forehand is lightning right now.
It's only lightning when they give them the high forehand hard.
But they are.
Yeah.
So, and that's not to suggest they stay back every single point, but at least create different looks and break that rhythm.
You know, in the one or two areas that I've seen them struggle with too is Arraya and McNerney be able to pull these guys out of position, and they're not getting tight enough. So they're finding the forehand volley, the backhand volley. You know, these spots and these creases, they just got to tighten up all the positions.
Well, and I mean, that's part of that goes into, you know, Arraya and McNerney's ability to really work that lob so well. You know, we talked a lot about is that spot lobbing and really lobbing with a purpose. And they're kind of creating those spaces, right? You kind of drawing them out of position and out of really creating those drivable spaces.
And you have a different look here with Salazar and Nunez on the deuce side now. So
I like that, by the way.
I do too. But the reason I like it a lot is because it's forcing Arraya and McNerney to play the outside screens, which is forcing them to move a lot more. They're not able to just stand there. See, like that. Before, you know, Arraya was just able to stand there and hit 20 overheads to one side. So there it is.
Good pressure there
That's
with
what
that
it
lob.
causes. That's what it causes right there. Let's see if they continue with that look back there, or at least throw it in there. Love 30, Brad?
Yes.
That's a great ball.
Oh, nice dig
Wow.
from Nunez. Surprised not to see McNerney camped out right on top of the net
Yeah.
there looking for the drop volley.
Yeah, they're staying with this.
Oh, I said I didn't think the sun was going to be a factor. It surely was there.
Well, he looks straight up at it. See if they go to a switch again here. Yep. I like the look.
No, I think the switch is huge for them just to change it up.
And again, there it is. It is forcing them to use the outside screens, which creates a lot of net movement from the team.
And they still are gaining. One of the things I was talking to Salazar, Martin, before they played, he was like, you know, we're going to play on the opposite sides because I return better out of the deuce. So they're still getting the great side to return from, but then making that switch.
Again, he keeps moving in, but you can't move in unless the ball's getting to somebody's feet, and they're too close to the net. It's a tough shot. I don't know that they're doing anything wrong, though. I think they just have to tighten up the ship and play a little longer and maybe go back more.
Well, I would say right now that when Graham McNerney's hanging on the net like that, he's got to be looking up. He doesn't get any more volleys because it's just creating a bad scramble on that side.
Yeah, where they're trying to blitz in behind it, and they don't have position.
Graham's standing there. I like that shot.
There you go. They got to start lobbing better, moving them out of position. There's a good play.
Yep, that's it. That's more their style. And that was created by the look and the ball not going to the side screen on Salazar. He plays one off the deck.
Score is deuce. I got it.
Now, question for Mike, you and Brad is how quick are Arraya and McNerney going to adjust to this? Because it's clear what they're doing. Are they going to use the middle or are they going to keep going outside?
Well, they're battling, and it's deuce, so.
Oh, good move. Missed it.
And I think winning some points from the baseline and having a little scheme there helps them at the net, too. Haven't seen Arraya and McNerney make those mistakes yet. They're going to switch.
There's a switch. Perfect. Smart.
Great lob. Can't let McNerney's forehand beat you from the baseline anymore, and his volley beats you at the net. Great get by Nunez.
That's a mistake.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a mistake. He went in there to cut it off.
Yeah, ball's too short for that.
Yeah, but on top of that, Nunez just got done scraping one off the ground there. So you can't over-position. You actually want to think more time and position. They don't think offense. Think, let me hit it high. Let's get back to neutral again.
You're so right. And on his way over there, he should be yelling help.
Yeah.
Because that allows him just to commit to the side screen.
Ooh.
And Salazar was there anyways.
Advantage, Nunez.
There it is. Yep. Definitive strategy.
Wow, what a get. They're really hammering in on these creases, though. They're hitting some amazing overheads, but great job.
And there it is. You know, we talked about it early in that game. No more driving with McNerney's on the net, and those lobs are fantastic.
You know, they, and it's a great statement. That's a statement game. You know, you come out after losing the first set, you have a good and hard-fought break a serve.
Look at the adjustments. I mean, from the baseline, great adjustment, and then it created some success at the net. But, I mean, we basically said play a little bit more from the baseline. Let's see if, from a serving standpoint, if they utilize that, or are they going to come in and see what their success is?
Yeah, the switch in the backcourt 100% made a difference there. Now it's going to be, like you said before, Guy, the turn for Arraya and McNerney to, I don't think Arraya and McNerney think they played a bad game. I think they missed a few shots. Like McNerney missed a volley coming in a blitz. I don't think he would take it back. You know, but there was a lot more pressure put on from Salazar, Martin, and Nunez to the shots they had to play. Caused those errors.
And let's see if experience comes in here, because Salazar and Nunez just played a fantastic game. And do they recognize, hey, we just played a great game from the baseline, and can we do the same from the net, or where are we going to have more success at this stage of the match? Because it definitely disrupted McNerney and Arraya to a degree, made them play a little faster than they have been playing. like this long point from
Graham
Arraya
loves so
McNerney.
well.
Yeah, he does. I like the point, though, because that last game was too fast for them. Great kid.
Oh, wow. Top of the screen there, and it stays in. See, there's a position thing to me. He's got to, when that ball goes that far wide, he's got to go into the alley.
Yep.
Give him no space on the line.
Yep.
Good play, though.
Juan loves that shot. And, you know, just like we said, no one really has a tape on these guys.
Wow.
Nice kids.
Wow.
Came out.
Such a good move from Nunez.
But these guys haven't played a lot of these teams either, you know, even though they will quickly. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, they've been motoring through all their opponents. Well, Nunez is brand new to this. He last 2 or 3 tournaments. Salazar Martin with the partner, Albi.
Juan loves that shot.
Great touch. Gets him to reach.
And that's one of Arraya's favorite shots, and he holds it. But if you haven't played him a lot, you're not looking for it as much.
Is there a better one-handed backhand in the game than Arraya?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Maybe Durant.
Yeah, I think
Different,
even
though.
Arraya's different. I think Arraya's is a little even more versatile than Durant's.
Well, he holds it so well.
Yeah.
Durant's is more off the deck, you know, snapping it in your face, and that right there, either Arraya going down the line or that off the side back,
Right.
that hold.
And he can
because
flick it down the line, put
That's right.
some pace on it, make it sharp, or he kind of, and you can't tell until he's doing it.
Right. He holds it as long as he can, and he hits it at that pace where he could create the angle, which is what happened there.
Yeah, that's beautiful control.
Above 30. So I'll ask you two again. Do they recognize that they were very successful from the baseline?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah, I think staying back's not a bad play here for
No.
them at all because they're getting controlled when they're at the net. They're not controlling.
I just think Arraya and McNerney's lobs are so good, it's making them work so hard to win a point. There it is again, but that's the right look.
15-30.
Another beautiful lob from McNerney.
Update from next door on another men's semi. Boston Rams are up 2-0 against Durant and Mitchell in the second set.
Yeah, there's some great action then on that court as well on the other YouTube channel.
And those guys made some really good adjustments in both of their matches yesterday. So they're becoming smarter as a team, that's for sure.
Well, they were warm. Bostrom was warming up. I'm like, you getting that forehand cranking? Because that was the difference maker in last night's match. I mean, he started thumping that thing to great spots.
I told him after the match it's the best I've seen him hit his forehand. But I told him I love the speed of it. And I think that team, Boston Rams, as they play more together, they don't ever practice together. Bostrom's in Jersey and Rams is in Pittsburgh. They only play in tournaments, so they play their way into tournaments. But the more they play, the smarter they'll be. I mean, that team is very similar. Boston playing with Sebastian Bredberg. You know, Bredberg was so vertical, so was Rams.
That's trouble.
Careful.
Yeah, that's trouble. So that's snap one-handed backhand from Arraya. Missed it wide. Just not just struggling, put the pressure on from the net there.
McNerney won the first.
All right, let's see if they continue with the switch out back here.
Now, do you all think that the kind of the the maturity and the experience is more helpful in the backcourt or at the net? If you understand my question.
I do.
You know, is it easier to play for an inexperienced players in the backcourt or to play the slow patient game at the net?
I think it's much easier for inexperienced players to play the net than the backcourt. I think teams play much more like a team at the net because of their positioning. It's a little simpler to understand than on the baseline. Even some really good club teams don't play the baseline like they should. They think it's a little bit harder to have a scheme from back there, what they're trying to set up and what movement they're trying to create.
See, I didn't even like Nunez moving in there at all.
Right.
Because what is he? It's purely a defensive play. What's he defending in the, from the service line?
Right. Yeah, there's no reason to move forward there. Until you have the opponents controlled with your lobs, pushing to the place where you know they're going to be, there's no reason to press forward there. Nah.
And going back to your...
Now they're pressing.
Yep, for sure. Playing too fast, they got to slow it down again. Going back to your question, Mike, teams at the net move together, and teams on the baseline with that drift tend to move opposite the ball. So I lob down the line from the ad side. I'm going to move to my right, assuming it's, it's a decent lob. People tend to stay in their corners and not shrink the middle.
Yeah, that was a very strong game there from Arraya McNerney. And that one, Nunez and Salazar Martin got off the rails a little bit there. Played a little fast, a little quick, pressing.
And I think we go back to what we talked about early in the match is experience.
Yeah.
Being able to weather the storm here against two experienced players. And again, and I'm sure they're going to continue to get better and better, and they're already in the semis of Chicago, but just not being satisfied with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, all this stuff just goes into a growth experience. They've been knocking off people like assassins recently, and I think it's also, like you said, there's no book on them, at this point. And people are thinking, oh, we can probably do more to them than you have to. You have to play real smart against these guys. They're ready to attack you in the right moments. And so far, as you mentioned earlier, Guy, they're playing a super clean match still, Arraya and McNerney.
Absolutely.
Only a few handful of balls.
And I actually think, too, with Arraya and McNerney, and as they've gotten better as players and a team, they're sticking with more of a strategy and not even, it would be easy after that first game to go off the rails a little bit, but they're sticking with it, what exactly is working. That's so good.
So good. And I think Nunez tried to tag him with the hard one, but when you hit it that hard and you miss,
Bail.
Pay the price.
Bail, and you pay the price. He's got an easy screen drive there. But just great control again from Arraya. He hits a little cut backhand slice behind Salazar Martin.
You know what else he does with that backhand is he lets it drop low, where it's just a tough read. Good spots. Yeah, you can see him working it over. Yep, there it is again. Yep, confusion. Going to keep doing it. Bang.
Cool. Keep going, stay.
Good communication from Arraya telling McNerney to stay on his side because they have been switching. Now they're going to.
Oh, a couple of misses there from Arraya.
Get those feet going, let's go.
Graham's going to go back. McNerney's going to go back to that lob down the line.
Chipping it.
Yeah. And notice, too, as he plays it off the deck, wanting Arraya and McNerney switch there, it just speeds the point up in favor of Arraya and McNerney.
I'd say it speeds the frequency of hits up,
Yeah,
right?
right,
There's less time between the
And
hits.
And that favors the team on the baseline.
No.
Yeah,
All right, good hold there.
that was.
Salazar. Score is 2-all. Second set. Arraya
And that's
McNerney.
exactly what Salazar, Martin, and Nunez need. There were just a couple errors there. Do you think any of the shots that McNerney and Arraya took were bad choices, bad shots? Just didn't execute. You know, a couple of tries there.
Yeah, just a little bit of bad luck. Good luck for
Yep.
the other side.
Yeah, a little batch of errors here. Now's the moment for Salazar, Martin, and Nunez to capitalize. Here's the key.
Love 15.
I think it builds some momentum.
Nice ball. Switching.
Again, I don't know why he's trying to run up the wire on that ball.
Yeah.
You know,
he's-
Araya's hitting the ball from inside the service line and hammering it into the corner. He's got to play defensively there.
He can't be pinching the side screen like that when Arraya's hitting it off his front foot, unless he wants that to happen. There, he cannot do that.
Yeah, he just
cannot
baiting.
do that.
I mean, they're still just searching, though. I like the fact that they're battling and searching. They're searching. You know, Arraya, Nunez, Salazar, Martin. That's a heck of a
Great
Big
serve.
serve.
Arraya's got a tough serve. He challenges you with it, and he backs it up with a tremendous volley.
Well, I think it's fair to say, as talented as Salazar and Nunez are, it's a great rip. That a lot of what they're doing still is based on their talent. I mean, their talent is exceptional. And
Good switch again. I like the switch. It's been really good for them.
great ball.
Great. Shot's an unreal stab volley. I mean, that was a really good shot from Salazar Martin.
He got robbed.
Just,
Call the cops. You
that's
just
a
got
rough
robbed.
one.
You
Yeah.
see the frustration in his face. It just,
But
he gave him his best. And
it was a great shot, but go back. Graham McNerney calls 2 points on his volley there.
All right, another one of our great sponsors, Fusion. In collaboration with the APTA, Fusion is at the forefront of personalized gear and apparel, backed by a team of seasoned industry experts. They provide exclusive access to high-end products from top-tier retail brands, all poised for customization with your club logo, team name, or corporate branding. Our streamlined approach guarantees a hassle-free shopping experience, complemented by custom online storefronts and swift ordering. Visit www.gearbyfusion.com and let Fusion seamlessly weave your branding into elite merchandise.
Yeah, we've talked about it in a couple streams, how great of a job Fusion has done over the past few years. Great vision, great management. Good job, guys.
Wansel missed a couple of returns here. We want to watch out for that.
Yeah, they do come in batches for Arraya. As good as he is, nobody can play a completely error-free match, right? And he has a tendency to sometimes be a little bit streaky. In the last game and return game in this one so far, a couple mistakes, which is exactly what Salazar and Nunez need. They actually need to just stay close.
Yeah.
You know, stay close so that Arraya and McNerney feel some pressure, right?
For sure.
That's a good move that time.
I love
but
that move.
that time still tough. You know, good one-timer there.
15 all.
And you know, too, these guys, Nunez and Salazar, they both played huge college tennis, and they've been in so many big situations. So
Both play at TCU, or no? I think Nunez did. I think.
yeah, Nunez, I think Salazar, top 5 singles and doubles in the NCAA. I believe at Arkansas, and then also played for Oklahoma his first 2 years when they were #1 in the country. Nice
wow.
shot.
picking away Arraya, picking away. And then he gets the high volley, and he follows it up with a perfect volley. They got to bail sooner or tighten it up and hit an offensive volley, right? They're just getting moved around.
Shout out to David Chelson. He just texted me, said, you two are sounding great. He said, me, I'm a little suspect, but
Little suspect.
yeah.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, Big Dave.
We miss him at the tournaments. Dave Chelson from.
You know,
He's done so much for the game in the Hall of Fame.
It's one of the best.
A guy I've shared many cigars with.
Yeah, Juan's Arraya spotting that drive.
Yeah, but I don't like how he's playing too many forehand volleys. I think he's got to move over and force Arraya to hit it wide and stay with the backhand volley. They're getting picked apart on these situations.
There's no doubt. And again, that's experience.
And I really think Salazar Martin is, he's Amin Kaddouri, the APTA's Amin Kaddouri. I think they're twins.
Yeah, there's definitely a doppelganger effect going on here. Check Amin's ready. Is that Amin? Fingerprint.
Get them side by side.
It's a really important point here for Arraya and McNerney.
Boston Rom's up 4-love in the second set over there in second court.
Yeah, there's great action there, too. Oh, he
Juan
missed it, Arraya, getting a little cute there.
Juan was put a pink bow on it. He was so cute. He was
30, 40.
maybe too cute.
As good as Nunez hands are, that ball's got to go right at him hard.
Bell.
Serving at 30, 40.
That's just huge.
Great ball.
Game, Arraya McNerney. They lead the second set, 4-2 ball.
And on our other court, did we hear 4-love from Boston?
4-love, yeah.
And that's what happened last night, too. Durant and Mitchell lost that second set and then won the third. Yeah, won the third 6-love.
Why Arraya just hit, Durant just slapped a forehand that bounced long and bounced out of the court.
Yeah, it was a rocket ship. I looked a little frustration on that one. To me, though, like, taking tactics aside and all sorts of other things here, one of the biggest differences in the match has simply been the execution. Arraya and McNerney have been able to put a lot more pressure with their overheads and control the ball with their lobs just better. You know, it's as simple as that to me in a lot of cases. You know, they've just been so spot on with a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, they've stuck to a really good plan. I mean, we all know there's going to be a couple loose games here and there. It's hard to play the perfect match, but for the most part, they've been on the same page the entire match. And they've also, Brad and Mike, made a good adjustment to Nunez and Salazar switching sides. That didn't rattle them much.
It took them a game.
Yeah, right.
It took them the first game to figure it out.
Right.
And it's been fine since. Now they go and they're figuring out how when they're banging it wide, and where they're controlling the spots.
Yeah, you see them both hanging back a little bit more because they know they're going to have to move more and cover more lobs, each of them. All here.
Yeah, it's a big point. It kind of down to it here for Salazar Martin and Nunez. They got to build something soon. Oh, what hands from Arraya.
Watch out for that backhand.
Nice high lob to slow it down for McNerney, recognizing the pace getting a little out of control.
Yep. Took it right back to neutral and started the whole point over.
Now he's going to start going to work with the lobs. But he took 2 or 3 balls where all he cared about was time.
Yep.
And that's just a smart player, right?
And knowing in the middle of a point when you're scrambling when to slow it down. Just hit the reset button. And you could see by the positioning that these guys aren't even really looking to drive right now. They're just setting those lobs up, waiting for the right ball.
Yeah, move the chess pieces around.
That's it.
All right. And wait for that ball that's going to come where you know where it's likely to be, and then capitalize. Just got aggressive on that.
A little greedy.
And there's a point there, guys. If I'm not mistaken, not one drive, right?
No, not one until the end there.
Right,
yeah,
right.
That's
Just
the
a-
only
just a
drive of the
push.
point. That was the only
That's
drive
it.
of the point, right? It's a switch. Wow.
There was some.
He just froze him. He was frozen, Nunez. Oh,
Yeah, that's right in his wheelhouse there.
Upper level spin there.
Yeah.
thank you, sir. May I have another?
And this is a really good example, Brad and Mike, of what we talked about a little earlier as well. Is McNerney and Arraya have stuck with their game plan, like you just mentioned, Brad, and they are still playing to win by executing their game plan.
Well, and the beauty of the game plan and having one is that if you're committed to it, it's committed to it regardless of score. You know, in making sure that your score takes care of itself, or the outcome will take care of itself. If our plan is right and we're able to execute it,
Right.
you don't have to, go away from that. And I think a lot of times, like you had alluded to earlier, that the plans are great. And sometimes when people get a big lead, it's like, they start reading their own press clippings and get away from that plan.
Right, and the game that Salazar and Nunez played so well from the baseline, I think Brad even said it was more, I don't think McNerney and Arraya did anything wrong. They just made more technical mistakes, not tactical.
Missed
It
a
wasn't
shot.
tactical.
Look, you're going to miss shots. I mean,
Yeah.
But if they're the right shots, it's all good. You got to know you're going to start making them.
And this is one of these matches, and we've all been there, that Arraya and McNerney are. Yeah, I mean, that backhand set that short volley up.
Yep. Oh, that's a dig.
What? Again.
Wow,
Great
nicely
point.
done. They are making them work so hard. Oh,
That's a McNerney dunk.
beautiful play, though.
You guys teach that in Chicago out here, Mikey?
Yeah, oh, you betcha.
Yeah. Put people on a couple phone books and just.
I mean, it is, and it's such a maddening shot, too, because you think it should be so easy, but
Wow.
it's like you lose your sense of time and space when that ball's
Yeah,
falling
because
down.
you're looking up and,
You get vertigo.
yeah. You add a little sun to it.
Wow, great lob again.
30 all here.
15 all.
15 all. 5-2, Arraya, McNerney. Second set, they won the first 6-2. Now see McNerney too. He's just, again, setting and controlling the point through that great lob and where he's hitting it. Okay.
It's overhead there from Nunez.
He just gets that ball. That's when I was saying he was going to be waiting for that.
So good for McNerney. Just
Yeah, but that's he's lobbing, and that's ball he's been hurting them all day on. It's something off the back screen that climbs the side wire.
Graham says, I'll see your one-handed backhand flick.
No.
yeah.
Yep.
So Arraya admonishing himself.
That's just unreal. Let's go. Here we go.
Gotta love the sound bites.
Yeah.
Oh, and two in a
Slow
row.
down. Slow it
little
down.
moment. Yeah,
That's where
sometimes-
Salazar and Nunez need to take advantage of this.
Yeah, I mean, grab the hold right
And,
now.
and Arraya has not done what he just did the last 2 points the whole match.
No, like two, and you feel like the second one was because of the first one,
No
right? You
doubt
can't
about
just mentally hit the reset button.
When I'm playing great,
There you go. He's perfect.
That's so perfect. We
you
don't
got
have to.
hard knocks.
Do we just tee that up with everybody?
Did Matt just steal my chair? I think he did.
advantage, Salazar.
You weren't using it.
That's true.
All day.
So 3 kind of mistakes that Arraya hasn't made the whole match here in this game. Let's see if they can slow it down and wait for the right ball again. This is a big game for Salazar and Nunez too, if they can convert this.
Like I said, they have to stay close. They have to keep it close, get a little scoreboard pressure on there.
Well, Arraya is such a good front runner, like we said yesterday, last night, that, I mean, if he stays hot with a lead, it's...
Yeah. Yeah, next door I just heard an update. It's Boston Rams 4 games to 3.
All right, so 3 games in a row back for
Yep.
Durant Mitchell.
That's not surprising to me.
No.
This is where McNerney needs a good job, do a good
Oh,
job of
good.
keeping Juan composed, Arraya composed. He's doing, yeah, he slowed it down, it's nice. Good lob. I love that
That's
lob.
such a good lob
Yes,
down the line.
and he's driven that enough down there that they had to pull in.
It's just so good. When they get to that net, they're just putting that pressure. And the combination, it's hard to perceive it all the time, but McNerney starts with a hard one backside, draws him up the wire.
Yeah.
The ball's a little short, lets it drop, pushes it slow just inside the second post, makes him stretch for that one, and then right into the crease. I mean, just excellent execution. Watch the Nick. And a
Yes. Yeah, and McNerney, with him and Arraya, 2 kind of different types of spins, just keeps you so off balance. But McNerney combined with that waterfall that he likes to hit in the spin, sometimes he lets it drop. It's just you're on your heels.
Yeah, the only thing lacking sometimes from McNerney is the firepower on the basic soft ground stroke,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
In
he-
every other way, he controls the engagement extremely well with his overhead, with his lob.
Yeah, but what he's doing today so well is just waiting. That's why I like this look from the backcourt with Arraya on the ad side, because he's just waiting to get that hard backside forehand. And I do think Salazar and Nunez have to find a way to speed it up, not by hitting the screens, but by hitting some shorter balls where they create drives.
Once again, just all that work, and then they finally just pop that great lob up over Nunez's head.
But it was set up really with the drive that brought him tight to the net, and then flipped that lob up over his head.
What you trying to Arraya. Excuse me, advantage McNerney.
Wow. Match point. smart. Getting into the point, switching. See if McNerney and Arraya play the same way they have. No pressing. It's a great move.
Again, no call. No blitz call.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great lesson for the fans at home. The greatest players aren't watching their partner hit that overhead. They're watching the trouble that may come from their partners or their opponents in the baseline by way of that blitz.
I tell you what, those lobs down the line from both Arraya and McNerney are eliminating angles and creating some confusion. But Salazar and Nunez are doing a good job of communicating.
Oh,
great
beauty.
ball.
Right in the sun and
Yep.
staying on that side wire. Great point. Patient point for them.
Yep. Saved a match point there. So let's go back to, I still don't like that drive 4 balls ago from Salazar at McNerney. It created the scramble that 4 balls later cost him the point.
Yep. He's reaching.
Yeah.
Doesn't have great purchase data. Good shot there.
Nice ball.
Good overhead.
Nice ball. Too hard.
Yeah, too hard. Missed his spot.
Yeah, that's the spot. Great ball movement.
See a move where he climbs up that side wire.
Had one lob to Salazar. Where's this one going? Same. It's all right. There's the forehand.
Like a volley from Nunez there.
And you're seeing Juan come all the way over, even beyond the middle to create movement.
And Nunez has got to stay on that line.
I like it.
All right. Great track down.
Oh,
Wow. Wow. Game, set, match. 2-2. I mean,
That's
really great, clean match from Arraya and McNerney. Just right to their game plan, controlling with the lobs, looking for their opportunities, and when they're at the net, excellent job putting the pressure on their opponents, keep them in motion. And, you know, Salazar and Nunez competed.
yeah.
no, they played a great match, and you're right, Brad. Arraya and McNerney had a really great game plan, and when you do, you just execute like they did. There was only a couple points here or there that there were those 2 or 3 loose mistakes in a row that we've seen, but sometimes you play a match against a team and you try all different types of strategies. Then you look at your partner and go, God, I just hope they keep playing this way. You know, sometimes that's the best you can do. And Arraya and McNerney played that type of match. So that, I mean, them going into the finals with that type of confidence, they're going to need it against either one of the 2 teams they'll face, either Boston or Rams.
I would say we've got a great match going on the other live stream channel. So we'll call it for here for now. But if you're watching this, make sure you shift on over to the other channel.
And then we got the finals coming up at 1 o'clock for everybody out there. And I guess we'll be signing off, gentlemen. I'm Brad Easterbrook with Guy Moore and Mike Raleigh, and we'll see you guys at 1 o'clock.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.